Hello everybody, how y'all doing today? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Yeah, last night was definitely a lot calmer, so no triggers. I know. And it was awesome. It felt really, really great. I had seriously considered maybe just stopping and getting something to eat, but I'm like, no, I have food at home that I need to see about cooking and it will last longer, so on and so forth. And it felt good being able to come home and do that without having to worry about waking people up, either with the aromas or the noise, with the clanging of, dishes, pans, so on and so forth, or turning a light on. I know. It was awesome. It felt really, really good. It's like, yeah, freedom, independence again. But the big thing though with all of this is, because it was 5 years ago this month that I had to let go of my apartment, and I really have grown and changed in the last 5 years. I see that. I am really, in many ways, a different person from the person that I was then. Um, I'm more balanced, um, grounded. Um, I feel that I'm surrounded, with love, light, protection, and so on and so forth. So if you question your spiritual journey, don't. It is a process. It does take time, depending on your wounds and so forth. But it's well worth it. It really is well worth it in the end. And one proof of that is something that happened with me last night. I had gotten this really large shopping request. It was basically groceries for like the next couple of weeks, to tell you the truth. And yeah, uh, um, it was a very, very large order. And in the end, well, the gentleman who placed the order, um, or at least the one who's on the account anyway, let's put it that way. He met me outside, primarily because for whatever reason the app will not recognize his address, so he has to put in his neighbor's address all the time. Happens quite frequently, unfortunately. But in the end, I was going to close up my the hatch on my car, and um, it's not it's not a sedan. I have an SUV, so it's one of those that opens like this. Well, they all open like that. What am I saying? But it has basically a hatch in the back instead of a trunk. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I went to close it and to go close, and he was taking the last load of groceries up to the house, and he was just like, "Hold on a minute," and I'm like, "Okay," and I thought he was going to come back, and I thought he wanted to come back and make sure he didn't forget anything, so I didn't close it, which is understandable. I completely understand that. And he came back and he gave me a $10 tip in cash. And I was just thinking, just before that, before I got that request, I was actually on my previous delivery. I was thinking about, okay, my current financial situation, what I have due this week, and the fact that I do need to do laundry, and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to get money out of the account, because the laundromat that I'm using, they're cheaper, but it's coin laundry only. They don't have any card swiping. We do have that here on site, with the laundry room, but they're a little bit more expensive. And I'm like, yeah, I couldn't, I just can't, see paying for that convenience. I can just go to over there to that laundromat, probably, like an hour and a half, I'm done, um, so, and it's a lot cheaper. and they're open 24 hours. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm like, okay, I'll have to get money out of the account, in order to do that and break the bill, because of course they only do increments of 20, all this was going through my head. And then that happened with that gentleman where he gave me $10 and all I need is like $6 to do laundry. And I'm like, okay. So and that's been happening to me quite a bit here lately with things where it's like I'm just asking, and I've noticed too here lately that Venus has been out, the evening star, as I've been leaving, and I've been making my wishes, basically putting the energy out there of what it is either I want or need, and it's like, okay, yeah. And then a little bit later, I also had gotten another smaller cash tip, and I used that to get myself a little bit of something special. So, some candy, chocolate. I was dying for some chocolate. So yeah, um, it is worth it. It is worth going. It is worth the journey. If you question, and I have my biggest issue has been throughout all of this has been that trust factor. And now I trust implicitly. It's like, yeah. And I trust in the divine. I trust that the divine is doing things that benefit me, even if it may seem like it's opposing me. It actually isn't. It's a part of the spiritual growth. It's part of the lessons and helping to clear out those triggers, the clutter, and so forth. Yeah. So take everything that happens with you and turn that into a positive somehow, some way. Yeah. Even with something else that I had been pondering here lately, it's like, yeah, I get it. Okay, I'm understanding it all, even more so now. So, and basically, it's a connection that I have with somebody, and I'm very happy that things are working out the way that they should with the friendship. So, yeah, very, very happy because I wasn't too sure. I know I mentioned that friendship before, where it's just kind of a weird situation. I'm just like, should this should I allow this person in my life or not? It's like, what? This is just a very weird connection. It's like, I'm not too sure, but I'm understanding it all a lot more now. So yeah, I know things happen for a reason. That's the way I'm looking at it. So anywho, yeah, I did do the tarot, or basically the card reading this morning. It was mostly oracle cards today. Definitely a lot about that connection to the divine and that spiritual healing. It's beautiful, really, really beautiful. So go check that out on the blog. I know YouTube cuts it off, unfortunately. Um, so head over there to the blog and check out that reading. Check it out fully over there on the blog. There. Um, but yeah. Oh, and if you haven't seen the moon rises, I got a chance to see it last night. Beautiful golden color. Oh, it was gorgeous. Very slow moving, and I did find out next month we're supposed to have another supermoon. So, but yeah, right now, as I'm recording this right now, the moon is in Cancer at 10, I think 10:26 or 10:46. I can't remember. So tonight. Local time, Pacific time, is the moon will be moving into Leo. So yeah, beautiful energy. Oh, almost forgot. Speaking of astrology, Happy Scorpio season. Happy birthday to all of us Scorpios. Yeah, baby. Yes, I know. It's everybody's favorite season. All the dark and mysteriousness comes out. The thinning of that veil and everything else, all that mystery and everything, all that shadow work, all that transformation that you all hate. It's like, yeah. I only mention that because there's darn, I don't remember her IG handle. She's somebody I follow on my personal account. She's out of Australia, I believe Melbourne, if I remember correctly. Oh shoot, I can't remember her handle. But anyway, she did a posting yesterday. Of course, they entered Scorpio season yesterday. But anyway, she did a post about the basically as the dark side of us Scorpios. It's like all mysterious and this and that. And I hear all the time a lot of negative feedback. We'll put it that way about us Scorpios. But it's like, yeah, we're here for a reason because we're here to trigger your sorry asses. No, just kidding. No, it is a very transformative, and of course, with it being the fall season, of course, the fall being all about transformation and so forth, and spring really too. Spring is about transformation as well. We're going from basically death into rebirth. So Aries, with that being the ruler of the first house. I realized that the opposite sign of Scorpio is Taurus, but follow my train of thought here. So anyway, yeah, that's what I was referring to. So anyway, yeah, but both it's a lot about transformation. Okay, so yeah, happy Scorpio season. I know we have Halloween coming up. The veil has been thinning. So if you've been thinking about anybody who's on the other side here lately, consider it a sign that that they're around you. Okay? So, yeah, I know. Exciting. Halloween, Day of the Dead. It's like, yeah, I've been seeing actually one of my favorite places to go shopping, with shopping orders anyway, is are actually the Latin markets, the Hispanic markets, grocery stores. We have a couple, actually, we have a few of them around here. Of course, being so close to Mexico, and a huge Mexican population. But yeah, it gives me a chance to not just go in and browse and see things, because it's different. Like if you go into, like a grocery store or any sort of store, and you looking around, you're kind of like, what? Do people actually eat that or use that? Or you're looking at something and it's like, what the heck is this? I actually came across that last night. It was like, it kind of reminded me of one of Possum's pom pom balls. I was like, okay, this is some sort of fruit. I know that because it's in the fruit section. But what it is, I have no idea. But it actually reminded me of it used to fall off the trees all the time back east, with where I used to live. We called them gumballs, but they were these giant balls like this big, with spikes all over them. And when those things ripened, I don't know if you could eat them or not, but anyway, when they ripened and they got hard and brittle and so forth, those spikes, ouch! If you step on those things, ooh, they hurt. My mom did one time, and one of those spikes actually wound up breaking off inside of her foot and was lodged in there for years, and she had no idea that it was even in there. She just kept getting callus, and she thought she had gotten it all out, and it just kept callusing over and callusing over, and finally it was getting sore. Finally she went to go see a podiatrist, and he took a look at her foot, and he's just like, hold on, and he numbed her foot, or at least around that area, and dug it out, and come to find out it was a small sliver of that spike that had been lodged in her foot for years. Had no idea. It was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, it was seeing that little piece of fruit. It was about the same size and looked the same even as those things. I was like, okay. But yeah, I actually enjoy shopping at those places because you get to actually, not only see, but you're actually buying things, even though it's, for other people, you're buying things and you find, and you kind of surmising how it's used. So it's like, okay, this makes a little bit more sense now. So it's like, yeah, and then you get a chance to see, especially with the um, Hispanic, because they also like the one store that I get quite a few requests from Cardenas, or Cardenas, excuse me, no, Enye. But anyway, um, they also have, sell like pottery and so forth, and they have some like skulls in right now for Day of the Dead, and I love it. I've always my first years I spent in Michigan. Okay, and one of the things that you don't know about Michigan is there's actually a very large Hispanic population up there. Way back in the day, that there used to be a lot more farms. I mean, it was a big time farm community in Michigan. So the migrant workers used to come up from Mexico and go there and do the crop picking. But over the years, when the factories opened up and so on and so forth, a lot of them moved over to doing factory work. Actually, my godfather was Mexican. I'm not too sure if he's still alive or not, to tell you the truth. But anyway, my point is that I had huge Mexican influence during my first years with growing up, and so of course because of it, with foods and culture and so on and so forth, some things that uh, I was a little surprised to find out things that don't happen out here, that at least when I was a kid, they used to happen in that area, with the Mexican population. That was very cultural for them. So it's possible that maybe, of course, they did their own um, uh, new cultural things or whatever. I know what I'm trying to say there. But anyway, yeah, it's I so for me, having that Mexican influence and then going to these stores and everything, is just like, oh, this is so cool. And I've always loved a lot with the cultures, like the pottery and so forth, and music and everything. So it was a huge influence on me as a kid, and still is, and that's one of the reasons why I do enjoy living out here. Um, just some things are different compared to what I was used to up there. So, but yeah, um, it just, yeah, it gives me opportunities. I would love it if I could if I could get like shopping orders, like Asian market or something like that. I'll have to see about finding them and checking them out, and one day, eventually. Anyway, I know, kind of rambling there. But yeah, actually, I do need to go eat. It's after 2 o'clock, and I was going to bake cookies today, but I don't think I'm going to have time. So, as I still have to get a shower and everything yet too. Um, but anyway, yeah, lots of fun with everything that's going on. Very, I'm finding myself becoming more balanced and grounded and so forth, especially with being on this spiritual journey and everything. And I'm just loving it. I'm really, really loving it, even more so now. I see clearly. Speaking of seeing clearly, light above me. I know I forgot to turn the light off again. But anyway, so yeah, I have kind of this halo. See? See? Spirit is shining its light on me. Anyway, um, no, it's been a very good journey. It really, really has, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it takes me. I see things. I see my road clearly now. That's the big thing. I really see it clearly, and I am more headstrong and driven now than I've ever been before, and um, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm going to be pursuing, and I also know and I trust that it all will happen in divine right timing. hmm That's the big thing. So, all right. I love you guys. I really, really do. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Peace out. Love you.